Okay, so Assalamu alaikum. This is video 7. Oh no, video 8, I believe. Anyway, so the ACLU must support, defend, they have the legal means to support the Badahai in their lawsuit against, the, Corpse America. For their crimes against humanity, right? Against the Badahai, right? Continued crimes against the Badahai. Discrimination, right? And denying them their, and violating their constitutional rights, right? Now, so, right? And continuing to violate their sacred space, right? That is their physical bodies, their right to life, right? Liberty and pursuit of their happiness, right? Because if they're mass incarcerated, then they have no, and they're incarcerated, they receive life sentences, right? Take them when they're very young, right? And, with they have the fentanyl crisis, right? Whereby many, Euro Americans are addicted, right? And I don't think they should be prosecuted. No, I don't think that either. I really don't think that. I do believe they should receive help, because they're entrapped in that stuff too, just like, the Badahai was entrapped in it, right? But just as the European Americans are, receive medical treatment and assistance to rehabilitation by the millions, right? And there's no bill to incarcerate them, right? That is discrimination against the Badahai, right? Drugs put in their communities, right? Their opportunities for social economic development is stagnated, right? Is removed from them, right? They are benignly neglected, right? Miseducated, right? Their families broken, right? Poor housing, poor health, and all of these things, right? So, and then they put the drugs in their communities, right? And as I said, break up their families, right? So, and the only economy is drugs, right? And that's entrapment. When all possible opportunity to succeed financially, economically, is removed. And then the only opportunity to succeed is by way of, illegal means to survive. And then there are laws passed by the Nazis, for to entrap those who dare, chance to improve their economic status, to survive, right? They are arrested and receive life sentences, right? And that's basically death in prison, right? That's death and in prison, right? Death by way of life sentences. That's basically a death sentence. And that's cruel and unusual punishment. And that's discrimination, disparaging treatment, because they too need rehabilitation and they need a real economy whereby they can have a generate income to take care of themselves and their families, right? But yet they are persecuted, prosecuted, and receive death by way of life, by way of death in prison, right? Sentences in prison, right? Because these life sentences are basically death sentences, right? They receive the death sentence, right? Whereas the Euro Americans who, take, drugs, fentanyl, or methamphetamines and all that, right? uh, they receive rehabilitation. But the Badahai receive death sentences in prison, right? Because of Obai Dinner's law, right? And you have his son who was doing the very things he said that, you know, anyone caught doing would be harshly dealt with, you know, by the, judicial system, right? Judiciously dealt with. But here, his son is not even charged, right? And he was protected by the FBI, protected by the Houses of Representatives, protected by the executive branch and the judicial branch and the media, right? Mass media, right? And social media. He was protected. But here, the Badahai, who are just trying to survive, and everyone knows their social economic situation. That's why not many people want to be black. They want the culture, but they don't want to be black because they don't want to be persecuted. But black people, Hebrew Israelites, got to know you're persecuted because of your DMT, your spiritual potential. That's why you're persecuted. That's why you were enslaved. Yeah, it's skin color. It's the DMT in your skin. The skin is like magic. And they know if ever you were to use your magic, the sky is not, the limit is beyond the sky. If ever you were to use your DMT magic. And think about it. If the prophets were one person and they used their DMT magic, think about 13 million people working together using their DMT melanin magic. That's why they keep the Badahai, divided. That's why they keep the Badahai fighting among themselves. That's why they keep the Badahai, trying to kill one another, not trusting one another, not loving one another. The man and the woman, the divine masculine, divine feminine, separated. They keep them separated because they don't want them using their melanin magic. Because the universe responds to you. Okay? Another thing, too, is that, the 50,000 celestial year cycle has ended, right? Okay, yesteryear has ended and a new one has begun. Thus, their birth certificate system and all that, Social Security system, all that, with the IRS and debt slaves as it relates to the birth certificate system, right? All that's ended. So they have no control over humanity. And they know that, but they don't think you know that. So while you don't know that, what they're trying to do is regain control over humanity, because humanity doesn't have a binding contract with them as they had with the birth certificate system. That system is over. It's done. The Vatican no longer holds those blood contracts, right? That the parents signed their child over to them, basically, is what they're saying, right? So, now they're trying to get a new contract, right? Like the new contract with America, right? The new contract with the mark of the beast, right? As they say, right? Whereby nobody can buy and sell. Well, with the birth certificate system as before, nobody could buy and sell without right? They couldn't buy and sell without some type of license, right? Without some type of social security system. They couldn't work or what have you, right? Okay, they couldn't buy and sell without a license, right? Okay, so that was being connected to the system. Okay, and that was being connected by way of taxes as well, right? So you had to have a tax ID number and all this kind of stuff, right? In order to buy and sell, right? Okay, well this time it's a new, they want to introduce a new system, right? Okay, and that's the mark of the beast, right? And that will be the new contract with humanity, right? Humanity has to not comply. Don't comply. And yes, it may be tough in the beginning. That's why they're trying to destroy the cows. That's the livestock. That's why they're trying to destroy the water. That's why they're trying to destroy the agriculture. That's why they're trying to buy up all the farmland, so that humanity will have no choice but to comply with them and get a new contract, right? So, what the person has, humanity has to unite, right? Humanity has to unite, and uh, and you know, not support those corporations, right? Um, that are doing this, right? And has to not comply with the new structure, their desire to structure a new system, right? Of whereby one would be forced to sign a new contract with them, and that's basically like signing one's soul over, selling one's soul, right? Signing one's soul over to the outcast creature, who is the beast, right? The red dragon, the rat child, right? The rat childs, right? Who are Ashkenazis, right? Who are Nazis, right? They are all Nazis. Klaus Schwab is a known Nazi. I posted the video of him, his ancestors, yeah, his ancestral heritage. Soros, Nazi. Gates, Nazis, right? So humanity has to, unite and get their own, land. And that's why they want everybody to have electrical cars, right? So, that, they will have, control, even over their transportation, right? Oh, another thing too is that they're supposed to be launching, an artificial sun, right? And the reason why they're supposed to be launching the artificial sun is because the sun, as we said, Nibiru is, getting closer and closer, right? And that's going to affect the, the sun, our sun, right? The sun in this solar system, right? It's going to, fuse more energy into the sun, and that's going to affect the electrical grid. So if that affects the electrical grid, then what happens to all the electrical cars, right? Means no transportation. And all the coal, all the natural resources will be saved for them, and that's what they're trying to do, right? Is save all the remaining natural resources for themselves, right? Okay, the food and all that, and have humanity eat the bugs, right? By destroying the agriculture, the vegetation, right? Destroying the water, poisoning the air, right? Okay, so anyway, so they're trying to create an artificial sun and block out the sun, right, to protect themselves, right? Because the sun, when it's infused, if it's going to be powerful enough to knock out the electrical grid, imagine what it's going to do to the people who don't have the DMT to absorb that heat, right? Because the DMT absorbs the heat and aids in distributing it throughout the body, right? And if it's distributed throughout the body, it's going to cause the synapses to activate faster, right? And that's going to speed up the thinking process, right? And that's why they needed the quantum computer for themselves, not for humanity, because when the synapses, fire more rapid, right? Process information faster, crown chakra open with the rising of the kundalini, right? To the crown chakra, right? Connecting to the Akashic records, right? Then humanity will be, smarter than those who are currently attempting to regain power and control over the global humanity, right? Okay, so they want to block out the sun with and utilize an artificial sun, so that humanity will not receive that energy from the sun, right? Right? So, and think about it. If, you know, there is to be a comet that comes through to destroy the beast, right? The red dragon, because death follows him, right? So there will be a comet that comes through, right? To like a heat-seeking missile, right? To destroy the outcast, the red dragon, right? And that's going to mess with the ecosystem, right? And that's going to cause humanity to go back to nature, right? And if they're going to go back to nature, they're going to need the natural resources to depend on, and they have their crown chakra open, so they will know how to uh, survive well, right? Naturally, inherently, right? And they will have to use their talents, right? Their gifts, right? Given from the Creator, right? And that will threaten those who has no ability to open their crown to utilize the the new energy that's coming through, right? Because they don't have the DMT, right? So it poses a threat to them. So uh, they need that quantum computer just to keep up with you, the melanated ones, right? Who will only be aided by the enhanced energy of the sun. So they're trying to block that out and keep you, you know, uh, oppressed, consciously oppressed. And then what are they trying to do? Confuse everybody you know, by corrupting the sacred space. And the sacred space is what? Man is no longer man, woman is no longer woman, children, to confuse the children, right? Take away the spirituality, take away the food. Nature is no longer nature, right? Okay. Take away the spirituality, right? Introduce more Satanism, right? Um, uh, Miseducate, the humanity, right? Um, uh, uh, Break up the family structure, right? Uh, and There's no longer a divine masculine, divine feminine. The natural order of life will be totally disrupted. Right from wrong will be indistinguishable one from the other. There will be no right and wrong, right? And multiply that by the famine, right? By the disease on earth, right? By all of the civil wars, right? Um, the destruction of the planet, destruction of the environment. So, and then there will have no natural sunlight, right? Okay, so one can see how, uh, you know, mankind will be oppressed and confused. All right. So this is it for the Cassiopeia, the Phenix Ramadan, Golden Lotus, full moon in Cassiopeia. I will say salam alaikum to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahabas, mashallah, radiallahu anhu. Salam alaikum to my ancestors. Salam alaikum to my beloved Michael Jackson. Salam alaikum to, and Michael, it said, if you say salam alaikum to those who have transcended, they live, though you know it not. And if you say salam alaikum to them, the angels will say salam alaikum to them for you. So I say salam alaikum to my beloved Michael Jackson, whose legacy I do follow. And salam alaikum to my family, my global family. Salam alaikum to you.